We're going to talk about 5 things that debt-free people want you to know. Coming up.
You want to make sure you take notes. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Talent.
Hey, I'm Ty, and we're from hisandhermoney.com,
where we are teaching you how to take dominion over your money and your life. This video is being brought to you by Legal and General America.
Legal and General America is a leader in low-cost, high-quality life insurance.
For nearly 70 years, Legal and General America has been providing financial protection to over 1.3 million families and businesses.
LGA makes understanding and applying for life insurance easy.
And agents are standing by to help you find the best coverage to fit your family's needs.
All you have to do is go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA to get a free quote now.
All right, let's get into it.
So the premise of this video is there are now more than ever, I would say, like being debt free is like the thing that's hot. It's like the thing that's in, right? And there are some common things or myths that people may believe about debt-free people that debt-free people want you to know. So some of them, they actually want to bust some of your myths, and they just want you to be more aware of. So when you become debt-free, if you're not already debt-free yourself, you'll be aware of these same things, all right? So number 1 is stop debunking or stop minimizing their profession and their hard work when it came to paying off debt.
Uh-oh.
Now, as you all know, we have a podcast called the His and Her Money Show.
That you should be tuned in to.
Yeah, where we have interviewed, probably over 300 debt-free stories.
Yes.
Right? And there are times, depending on people, like if they mention their profession, maybe they say that they're an attorney or a doctor or making over 6 figures, people may minimize their hard work and say, oh, well, that's why they got out of debt in such a short period of time, or that's why they were able to pay off their debt. You guys, just because you're making a certain dollar amount or you are in a particular profession does not mean that it still did not take work, right? A lot of these people, even such as ourselves, like when we were paying off debt, we had to say no. We had to actually discipline ourselves. We had to create budgets. We had to have an entire plan. So that's definitely something that debt-free people want you to know. Don't judge them based off their profession or how much money they were bringing in, because they still had to make sacrifices and put in the work.
Yeah, what you're really doing is trying to give yourself an excuse to not try. When someone says, oh, but how much were they making? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? We put this in front of you as an example of people making sacrifices, because no matter what your income level is, you have to live sacrificially to get out of debt.
Right.
So that's what you should take away, not be looking for a reason to disqualify yourself, because you're not really trying to disqualify them. You're trying to find a way for you to say, this is why I can't do it, because I don't make what they make. Please stop doing that. Look at it as motivation to say that if they did it, I can do it too. I may not be able to do it at the same pace.
Right.
I may not be able to do it in the months that they were able to do it in, but I can do it because they did it too.
Right.
The number 2 thing that you need to know is that debt freedom is not the end goal. It is just one stop on the journey. When we became debt free, it was amazing. It was something that I could only dream of, something that I envisioned. I wonder what it would be like. But that wasn't the end of the story. There's more to the journey, because when you get out of debt, you have accomplished something major, but there's more for you to accomplish. Now, is there businesses that you need to build? Now, is there wealth that you need to build? Now, is there a legacy with your children that you need to create? Understanding that helps you to keep things in perspective. I think there's a lot of energy given to getting to debt freedom.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing else to do. There is more to do, because the Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, meaning grandchildren, meaning that it's not just enough for you to be set, but you also want to do all that you can to put your children in a position that you weren't put in. Yeah. You want to do all that you can to even put your grandchildren in a position that you weren't in. So getting to debt freedom is necessary. It's something that you should pursue with vigor. That's through the roof, but it is not the end of the journey. After you become debt free, now we're talking about legacy. Now we're talking about taking dominion, not just for this current generation, but for generations to come after you.
Now, number 3, I would probably say everybody needs to listen to this one because I really think that this is a common one and it's very important and needs to be said. But before we get to it, we want to thank this video sponsor, Legal and General America, for sponsoring this video. If you have not had an opportunity to get a quote from Legal and General America for your term life insurance policy, you can go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA. The links are also in the description box below, but everybody should have life insurance, you guys. Everybody. How many times have you all heard us say this? This is your sign to do it right now. Click the link or go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA. You can get a free quote. It doesn't take long whatsoever. If you want to go through the entire process of filling out the application online, you can do that too. Or you can also speak to someone. Pause this video, go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA to get your quote now, you guys. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone, and you want to make sure that your family is taken care of and they are protected by having life insurance in place. Again, go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA. All right, so number 3, this one needs to be said. It does not have to make mathematical sense.
Ooh.
How many times I've seen the infographics going around there where people compare this person, Body A, paid off their mortgage in 5 years and they paid an extra $500 a month towards their principal. Person B or Body B instead took that extra $500, put it into the stock market, and in 5 years they made X amount of dollars. Like, you guys, we don't care about an infographic. We don't care about a calculator. It does not have to make mathematical sense. When it comes to getting out of debt, paying off your debt, paying off a mortgage, it's personal, right? And so we had personal goals, personal financial goals for our family. And you know what? Peace of mind spoke more to us than putting our money somewhere where it's not guaranteed. One of the things that came across our mind, we know that we have our own business, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that there's some things that we want to do. We want to be able to do that in a paid off home without having the stress or worry about having a mortgage over our home. Sure, we could have taken that extra money instead of paying off our mortgage and put it in the stock market, but what happens if the stock market tanks? What happened if there was a huge recession or a pandemic and we were losing our money? Like, none of this stuff is guaranteed. So we wanted to be able to control what we can control. So that's definitely something that debt-free people want you to know. Stop telling them, oh, do you know what you could have did with that? That's not smart. Don't buy a home. Don't pay off your student loans. Wait for the government to pay them off. It does not have to make mathematical sense. It has to make sense for you personally, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you can't put in a calculator the feeling of driving by all the houses on our street knowing that we're pulling up to the paid off one. You can't put into a spreadsheet the feeling when your kids say, we're pulling up to our paid off house without us prompting them. Yeah. You can't put into a calculator when God presents you with an opportunity and you don't have to factor in a debt payment to say whether or not you can answer the call of God on your life. Yeah. Everything does not fit into a calculator or a spreadsheet.
That's right.
The 4th thing we want to tell you is that it doesn't have to be an either or situation. We get this question all the time. Should I pay off my debt or should I be trying to invest to build wealth? You can do both. Right. You can take a blended approach. It still requires you to be disciplined, probably in a even more elevated way, because you need to budget and crunch the numbers to see, okay, after we pay our bills, this is what's left over. Right. And you can take that leftover and you can hash it out into percentages. You can say 50% is going towards our debt freedom goals, 50% is going towards our investment goals, or 60-40 or 70-30 or 80-20. You don't have to say, I'm going to do one over the other. We did both. And we are not ashamed. We are very glad that we did, because one thing you can't make more of is time. Mm-hmm. And when you are investing, it's always better to do it sooner than later, right? They say the best time to invest was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So you can do both, and we suggest that you do.
That's right. And when it comes to building wealth, you guys, it's not always just a stock market and things like that. I know a lot of times when you hear that term, you think that, but it can also maybe mean starting a business. Some of you all have also asked, hey, do you think it's wise for me to start a business while I'm paying off my student loan debt? Like, we started a business when we were paying off our mortgage. Absolutely. So it does not have to be either or. You don't have to be so fixated on a goal that you literally say, I can't do anything. You can have room for both. But again, it does take discipline. It does take planning as well, too. And number 5 is debt-free people really want you to know that just because they paid off their debt or when they paid off their debt does not mean that they have all this extra money that they're sitting on.
They became rich overnight.
No, you guys, like, we paid off our mortgage, and yes, it felt good to have that mortgage payment stay in our bank account the following month. But guess what? that money also left the bank account, right? Because we also have financial goals. We're building a business again.
Right.
We're investing for our kids' future. We're investing for our future and things like that too. So debt-free people don't want you to feel like they're always going to be there, that maybe you could just rely on them and pull on them. Oh, they're debt-free, they have the money. No, they're also making plans for their current money and they're spending it, accordingly. So don't always assume that they're just sitting in a bed of cash and that they have it all available to just basically give away.
Well, those are the things that we
Yes.
think that you should know about debt-free people. Maybe we've missed something.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what are some common myths or some things that maybe you've heard of or also experienced, or maybe you're not out of debt. Maybe you wonder, hey, when you're debt free, does this happen? Or we want to know from you. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. We may do another video just like this, bringing your questions and your comments to the screen. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. This lets us know that you like this type of content. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all our new videos. And you guys, we also have a website. Go to hisorhermoney.com. We have podcasts over there. We have videos over there. We have articles over there that will help you win in the area of your money and take dominion.
That's all we got for this time, guys. It's been great. Till next time. Peace.
Bye, y'all.